Alright y'all, so today we are taking a look at the SNK NEOGEO Arcade Stick Pro. This is a sweet little peripheral, man. So I got this around Christmas time, but I didn't want to bring you guys a review until I had spent some time with it and could really give you my honest thoughts. And I enjoy this thing. So let's just talk about it a little bit. Here at the bottom, we have our inputs for if you guys have like the NEOGEO pad. The Arcade Stick Pro can be coupled with the NEOGEO Mini arcade system that came out a little while ago as well. And it can be plugged into it, so you can choose to either play the NEOGEO Mini with the buttons that are on the cab, or you can attach this thing to it. But also cool, and this is the method that I have been using for it, you can plug your HDMI cable into your TV and play that way. And also there's a mode switch where you can take this thing off and play it on an Android device, your PC as well. So you got some options to what you can do with this thing. What I don't like, let me be upfront with you guys, is that this thing doesn't come with a power brick for some reason, so you have to apply your own like 5-volt adapter. So the game comes with 20 pre-installed NEOGEO games, and we'll kind of go through those together. A lot of fighting games, which I'm absolutely in love with. You know that on this channel, man, we are fighting game aficionados. We appreciate fighting games over here. But it comes with some other NEOGEO arcade classics as well, which are pretty sick, right? So the thing with this is, let's talk about the buttons and the stick, right? So the buttons, they're not Sanwa or proprietary Hori parts or anything like that. And in the past, I usually have a preference for Hori. I really like their materials. But let me go over the pros with this stick. I'm a really big fan of this thumbstick right here. Y'all hear that click? Y'all already know how I feel about that. And then the buttons here for me, like, let's see. So they are absolutely fine, right? Like they're more than serviceable. Like I didn't get any with any weird buttons, no dead buttons. And going back, they're not your Sanwa parts that everybody speaks so highly on and everything. And that's going to turn off some people. But what is to be remembered is that this thing is highly customizable. So from videos that I've been seeing, and just with the way this thing is set up here, let me see if I can move it. So this thing is really customizable. And if you're somebody that's big on the Sanwa parts, this thing is actually really easy to kind of bust into, unscrew, and replace yourself, which is sick. So cons list: no 5-volt charger. Your mileage is going to vary on some of the equipment because I've been told there are different versions and bundles that have different things attached. But you have your inputs for the SNK pads, the NEOGEO pads. It can attach to the NEOGEO Mini. You can play it on your PS4, Android device, and PC. We got the clicky stick over here, works well, and the buttons are not bad at all, man. Like, let's just jump into KOF 99. I'll let you guys kind of hear some of the ASMR section happening over here. Let's see. All right, so we got like our save state and load state, which is awesome, right? You got your controller settings here where you can customize your button layout, shift the screen size so you can make it full screen, like set it up to however you want to, 4:3, all that good stuff. So quality wise, you got your scan lines. As you guys can see, I'm rocking my CRT over here, so I got the scan line set up. You can go longitudinal, 45-degree, pixels, smooth scaling, a bunch of options, and then you got your headset volume as well, right? So we'll press some buttons in here, let you guys see the responsiveness and everything. Got my boy K-Dash. Alright, so let's see. We'll play a little bit of 99. Ooh. Of course, you got your cheating ass NEOGEO MPC. Let's see if we can get our TP motions on. Okay, got that. Let's go Fireball. Fireball. Okay. And so far, man, like I was telling you guys earlier, as far as like having a lack of problems with it, like no crazy lag, like the buttons and stuff are responsive. I'm able to do everything I want to. We got our combos on deck. Alright guys, so before we finalize it, let me just show you what I feel like gives the NEOGEO Arcade Stick Pro its full strength. So mods, right? So I'm not gonna go into the deets and everything like that, but we all got internet access out here, right? So the high-low stick mod is something that I found for this thing that just makes it so sick. So for those of that sort of mindset, there's ways to kind of go out here and access a bunch of stuff, right? So as you can see, we went from our 20 on the traditional Arcade Stick Pro, which is still a buttload of games, man. We come here and we have quite a bit to choose from, right? Like, you think of an SNK game, it is probably on this thing, man. We got Art of Fighting, all the Fatal Fury stuff, Ganryu, man, Gao Kaiser, that's a classic, Savage Rain, Breakers, I love the Breakers series. There is so much on here, right? Last Blade, even we got Ashton Joe over here, Magician Lord, Game as Hard as F, the Metal Slugs. Like, this is where we start seeing how like crazy this thing can get and where like the bang for your buck can come from, right? And also, if you go to your mod over here, you got your game systems, we start jumping into a few other things, right? So we got our our SNK approved Street Fighter section over here and all kinds of good stuff, right? Just like, are y'all feeling me though? Do you guys see kind of where this is going? You're able to add games to this thing and really customize it how you want to. It starts getting like pretty nuts, but to me, this is where like creating your own user experience comes in, right? I was completely fine with the 20 preloaded SNK fighting game classics that you got on there. I believe through updates, SNK themselves are adding things to it. But for those who are more adventurous or are looking for a more customizable experience, you got ways to add some things on here. And all I'm using is this a USB flash drive attached to the back of the Arcade Stick Pro. If you got yourself a USB flash drive, you're able to really unlock the true power of this thing, right? So I recommend this thing to people who are enjoyers of fighting games, man. If you like the classic arcade stuff and you want to have like an all-in-one setup where you can just kind of plug this bad boy in and enjoy just a bunch of classics anytime that you want, plug in a couple of controllers, like play with some friends and things, it definitely has its flaws. I'm not a big fan of just like the SNK pads that were made for this and the NEOGEO Mini, just because they're not as good as the old SNK console pads that had the micro switches and everything. They're nowhere near that quality, unfortunately, but they're serviceable, you know. So like, there's that. The lack of the 5-volt charger on this thing is kind of like super whack to me. I 100% feel like it should have come with that. If you pay all this money, you should have a way to just like, they should give you something to power on your device, you know. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous to me that it didn't come with that. And also, I'm doing some witchcraft over here to like connect this thing that's not through HDMI. So as you guys can see, I got it plugged into my CRT, so I had to get some converters because it doesn't natively support like your CRT if that's what you're looking for. So if you're a retro head like I am and you enjoy the retro gaming experience, you're gonna have to get a couple of converters and all that kind of thing to make this thing work. If you're just an SNK head, you are somebody who has a monitor and HDMI setup and you're just looking for some arcade classics to play, you can do a lot worse with this thing, man. I'm happy with my purchase. I really enjoy my time with this, and I will continue to be getting my money's worth out of it in the future. So I appreciate you guys watching me, man. Please leave some feedback, hit my YouTube buttons if you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.